spinning circle.
That's as close as we've got.
Chad, can you stop being a fucking belly? Oh, I
Right,
love
you're
you,
live,
man.
Jack.
Hello, thank you so much for your waiting and patience, guys. I love you so much right now. Tonight we've got a very, very special guest. We're going back all the way to 2016. I remember these guys supported us and came on and had a chat roughly back in when we were on the Thursday night show. Don't forget, after this show, you can tune into the Thursday night show. So, with us today, we have the lovely, beautiful Blue Owl.
Hi, evening.
Curry Kitten.
Hello.
Disclaimer, please, buddy.
Any views expressed by any guests on this show personal may not reflect the views of others. Please don't sue us.
We've got the Final Glide Oz.
I thought I was like hover bother
Chad.
extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hover Botherer. We've got Tommy. Oh my god. And we've got Mr. Steele.
What up?
And my little vegan chicken nugget,
Bonjour.
Tony. Hey, and I'm Bright Till I Fly. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. This has been hopefully this is like a first in a while. It's nice to bring you guys all together. We won't take any bickering. We're treating you all as hostile wild animals that you clearly all are.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so
Like I said earlier, this better be good. You got me up at 5 a.m. Like
it
I
will
know,
be-
Those
thank-
birds
gets
are
me
even
up at
mad.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hover Bother the Third, once removed.
So
Are you sat in an aviary currently? Just to double check, Chad. I can hear birds squawking.
It's 5 a.m. Birds are pissed off. They're trying to
Welcome
have
to
sex.
Australia. Welcome to Australia. We have animals here. Not all of them want to kill you, but most of them do.
Most of them do.
Yeah.
Be
Right.
safe.
So, like, for any of the newbies, right, and anyone who doesn't know who you are, heaven forbid, right, since you guys left the old thing, who are you and what have you been up to since you've been free? So, Steele, what have you been up to?
Not me.
What?
Not me. I
Not
haven't done
you.
anything. I didn't do anything.
You survived coronavirus.
I did. I lost all my hair too.
Oh,
No. No, you
oh,
It's all
hang on.
gone.
Wait,
It's all
wait. No
gone.
way.
Nope.
It's all
Nope.
gone.
There's
Oh.
so much. There's so much going on.
Such a
I think I
team.
got you though. I've been on this whole like I'm not gonna cut my hair until this pandemic is over thing.
Yeah, I was that with my beard, and then it started touching shit when I was doing this, and I was like, nah, I'm out of here. I had to shave
Yeah,
that shit.
at least you could do that. If I try to do that, I'd have like probably like 19 hairs total coming out.
Well, you
They'll come
should
out
strap those bitches back behind your head.
strong.
So, all right. So last I heard, like me and you had a bit of a catch up on my podcast, and you were doing a bit of film stuff. But I'm guessing everything's like quieting
Me?
down and everything. Yeah, still.
I haven't done shit
No.
in like 6 months, other than I went to Vegas and rock climbed. I've been doing a lot of rock climbing. I've turned down a lot of gigs because everyone wants to fly a Komodo because they think it's so good. And they want to go in between people's legs with this giant ass camera and this giant drone, and I just don't give a fuck. So I'm just like, nah. If you want to fly a GoPro, then I'll fucking fly it. But
Yeah.
I don't make a living flying cameras for other people. I do it for myself.
What about you, Tommy? What have you been up to? You've been filming and busy and.
Yeah, the complete opposite of Steel. I've been playing Komodos all day, but it's been fun. Like I get to travel, even though this whole pandemic thing is going on. Get to work on some projects and really kind of take the magic away from film, right? Because like when you see how something actually gets made, you're kind of like, oh, so that's how this is done. It's like not glamorous at all, but at the end of the day, it's also pretty cool that I get to work on some pretty fun stuff that ultimately, hopefully, brings smiles to people's faces, or they sit there and they go like, "Oh, that was kind of cool."
Oh, Chad's gone.
We were just going to ask Chad.
Internet's fallen over again.
Right, hang on. We got a donation from Zero FPV. So
Where is this? Where is this thing? Like, how do I share this? I can't just copy the link from up top, right? It'll bring people into the actual chat.
Yeah, man. Do you want me to give you the link?
Yeah, just send it to me on our Facebook thing.
Yeah, no worries.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, it's here, bro.
So, Zero's just
Chad,
donated.
what have you been up to?
Me? Who? Chad?
Chad, yeah. Chad's been
Nope.
playing DCS.
We lost him again.
So as far as we can figure, Chad hasn't paid his internet. That's one thing he hasn't done since leaving Rotor Riot, because he keeps getting cut off.
Thank you, Zero FPV. Guys, what's your favourite memory together?
Oh man, where do I? How much time do you have? Honestly, I feel like the best times had nothing to do with flying. If I'm being really honest,
I feel like they really liked me putting jalapenos on my PP.
that was gonna be the first thing that popped into my head. I actually, like, was it just a couple months ago? I came across that video where, Steele had a little incident touching some hot stuff and some other parts, and we were in a car, so there was really nothing that you could do but just watch and enjoy. Well, maybe not enjoy, but just watch Steele in agony over what he had done. But yeah, I'd say that those it's always the non-flying stuff that's the best stuff. I think Steele should probably tell that story because I can't.
I mean, I think Chad laughed the hardest.
Yeah, well, I think I need to post that video at some point. I just don't know how, because I think it'd be just kind of weird to just like, hey, remember when this happened?
Yeah, Chad posted it. It's online somewhere. The
Yeah,
jalapeno, the jalapeno PP video.
Chad, are you? Oh, he's blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
What's your favourite memory together? Chad.
To me, it's not really one memory. It's sort of all the stuff that happened as a combination, really. Oh crap! I mean, literally, you're asking. You're asking for one moment when it was basically a couple of years of us almost permanently living together. It's kind of like the whole sort of family stuff of just the craziest that happens. There's not really one. It's not really one thing.
I think that's all we're going to get out of him. Oh, God, he's the worst. So, like, what I was going to ask is, who was the prankster out of the group?
Oh, that would have been Chad, I'd say. He's
Really?
always he was just always up to something, just anything to get a rise out of anybody in a good way.
Do you reckon you guys will ever fly again together?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think it's just a matter of just like opportunities. I mean, I think we all kind of started figuring out our own thing to do, and sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes the pandemic gets in the way. But I mean, we always take whatever opportunity for, like, in a neighboring state or whatever. We'll hit each other up and be like, yo, what's up? What's going on? Doesn't mean we'll post it.
I mean, Tommy lives not 24 hours away, and we don't see each other very often.
You guys miss each other.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Oh,
that boy can't travel. I've been trying to talk him into moving to Atlanta because California's going to shit. We all know this. Go ahead and tell Bridget. Sorry, this fucking whole state's gonna burn to the ground in like a few years. So you might as well move somewhere where it's a little wet.
You know, I'd say like about like once a month, I do check to see like real estate and property going on in Atlanta. Just to be like, is now the time? Is now the time? I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta's not the best place ever, but it's a good one. It's cheap, and there's a lot of people that fly here, and there's a lot of shit to fly here, and you don't get attacked. Although the movie industry is a little not as good as LA, I would assume.
Yeah, that's kind of the only thing holding me back, because there's a lot of work over here in terms of
Where
like.
you can have all of it in Atlanta, because I turn it all down.
Well, there you go.
They hire it out to some fuckwit from some random place somewhere, and they're like, "Yeah, we got him to fly a Komodo for $4 a day." And
So that's the guy that's fucking it up for everybody.
yeah. Well, the problem is they always call and they want your day rate, and I give them my GoPro day rate, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's really affordable." And then after they lock me in and like start doing travel and shit, they're like, "You can fly a Komodo, right?" And I'm like, "Sorry, bro, that's like 2.5 times what I told you per day." And they're like, "What the fuck? We're gonna have to find some child that will do it for free." And,
Well, there's a lot of those now. I honestly, I feel like a lot of people got into like the whole cinema thing, like during this course of this pandemic. I feel like everybody became, a cinematic FPV pilot.
mm-hmm. And for the rest of the world, that just means you can fly in a straight line. But for the people that actually do it on a regular basis, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, it could be, especially when you have a director that really has something specific in their head. That's when it can be a little challenging.
My favorite part is telling them no.
So on that subject, how is it, Tommy? Because I watched some of your bits about like flying commercial and what you were doing, because you were talking about how useful it was having HDMI out so you can show the director the actual stuff going on the DJI goggles and stuff. But I would have thought that sort of reputation means a lot, and you've been doing a lot of stuff. But is there serious competition? And it all comes down to like this guy says he can do it for cheaper, essentially at the end of the day.
I mean, honestly, I think it just really depends. Like most of the time, it's always like a very tight knit circle, and like when you have a good impression on somebody, it tends to last, and they tend to tell friends. And it just really depends on like the production. If I have had others that hit me up and they're like, "Yo, can you do this?" And I give them my day rate, and they're like, "Oh, well, we actually got some other one saying that they could do it, and it's literally like a quarter of the price." And it's just like, well, it is what it is, and if they decide to go for it, they go for it. My only concern is they do it, and like the production of the director, sees the experience, because it's not just the end result, but it's also like the experience, right? Like when you're on set, you're with a crew that most of the time, most people don't really know each other. And so first impressions really last. And if you can't do what they're asking you to do because time is money, or, just whatever the case may be, then it's a very lasting impression. So I guess to answer your question, it just really depends. There's some production companies that I've worked with where like I'm confident it will always have a great relationship, and then there's some newer ones that may or may not be familiar with FPV, and maybe they're just looking for the price and not so much the experience or the quality.
Okay.
I've got some like not FPV questions still. How's your 3080?
I got a 3090.
Oh, you got a 3090?
Yeah.
Oh, you little
Plebs.
How is it?
It's fucking sick. I mean, I play Call of Duty on like a 2K screen at 165 hertz, but I don't really know. I mean, it works well with my sim because I have a VR setup now, and I can run the two 4K screens at 144 hertz.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it works well. I have no issues with graphics anymore where I used to before, especially if I were running VR. But certain games are a little more graphics hungry. But yeah, I haven't had any issues. I'm a little disappointed. I got an A7S III the other week, and now that I'm editing like 4K 60 and 4K 120, this little MacBook right here is like having a seizure. So kind of waiting on the new. I want like an M1 MacBook 16-inch or whatever, but they don't have it yet. I feel like there's going to be an M2 in the next year or something, and it's going to be even better.
Yeah, M1X.
I might hold out. This is a 2019 MacBook Pro 16-inch, like maxed out, and that the most maxed out you can make it, and it fucking struggles with 4K 60. So I don't know. I wish I could edit on.
Blow up if it was trying to do 4K 60.
Tommy, were you DJing before the pandemic, or do you not do that anymore?
No, I've actually been doing that a lot more. I've kind of rediscovered that previous passion / hobby of mine during this pandemic. Yeah.
Would you be interested in playing a slot on the Thursday night show if I asked T1?
Well, when you
Yeah.
say slot, like, is this like
An
a dedicated DJ set?
Yeah, our slot on internet radio.
Yeah, I would. I like. Look, I am so rusty just because. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. I don't care. let's do it. I'll take any excuse to DJ, man. Like I really love DJing.
Right, I'll try and do that.
Yeah, I'm down. Wait, so just out of curiosity, like, what kind of music you guys normally
I'll
have?
play anything, man.
Anything? Like anything?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
As far as I know, like I play horrendous music, man. I do an 80s show and stuff, and is not sorry. I'm trying to sort out Chad at the same time, but yeah, I usually play like a sort of like talk 80s show, and then sometimes I just play random crap.
Okay.
Like whatever we're in the mood for, but it would be really nice to like have you on there.
Okay, I'm down.
Let me just say this randomly then, because before we did the show, I went back on a little bit of memory surfing on the old Rotor Right episodes, and I watched the ones I really enjoyed and I remembered a lot were the Russian ones when you guys went to, is it Pripyat? I can never say that word, and the Dugger Dive, and I forgot how much fun they are to watch, just watching you three bounce off each other. And it was like just the bit where you were going to sort of Chernobyl, it was like Steele was talking about I've even got the measurement on the Geiger count. I'm going to call them midi-chlorians for fun. And then Chad was just obsessed with going on about how obsessed Steele was, talking about them all the time. And then there was this whole thing after Steele crashed on the Ferris wheel, and like Chad was physically upset because he was like, he got it back. Now he's going to think he's invulnerable. It was just all this bouncing off each other, and that's the sort of thing I think you're talking about when you say there were so many memories. Because I guess it was just like that all the time. You guys are just on this fun road trip for a long time, having fun around the world as it was back then. It's a whole new journey.
I think what the public doesn't realize is that was all scripted, and
No.
Chad Capper has a script book that we would read out before we would go. So
Was it scripted that you guys crashed also?
everything was scripted. Everything, every single Red Ride episode was 100% scripted. Yeah, there's like one day there will be the notebook. It's like the playbook in Waterboy that the guy gets from, you know what I'm talking about? The like special playbook that the guy steals and he like wins all the fucking championships.
Yeah.
Chad Capper has one of those books, and it's all of Rotor Riot. It's like the winning Rotor Riot formula, and unfortunately, it got lost in a house fire. That's why the new Rotor Riot stuff isn't so good.
Spoiler alert: Steele and I actually get married, and Tommy's our kid.
Oh,
Yeah, but it never got there because we all fucking got divorced before it got there. We couldn't fully go through the script. It was a harsh day.
So now I'm just this illegitimate child. This is not
an orphan.
Yeah.
oh, Tommy, you guys are ruining the magic for me. I was never into FPV. You know, when I started flying, it was just Riot and then Flight Test. That's the only two channels that I knew. And now,
Wait, you do actually believe that it was scripted?
No.
I can't believe that.
I remember the awkward walking a line guys on the Sunken City.
On what?
On the Sunken City episode, where you like, I don't know where it was it California or whatever, and you were like,
Yeah.
sea squirrels. Oh, I know you guys remember that.
The sea squirrels were.
That was the best part. Nothing was scripted. You just had to just turn on the camera. Something was gonna happen.
I think my favourite things are like, we don't want to piss off the locals, and the guy's like, no, you can do what you want here and stuff, and like, making out Carlos is Mexican, and I really loved Chad's like, after the safety check of like no one goes out on the field of gun versus drones, and like he's our like master shooter, and like don't like say ceasefire and we'll stop shooting, and then I think one of you guys pipes up and is like, yeah, these are drones, they're wild animals. They might follow you home and like spy on your naked family.
See, now that's like a perfect example of not scripted. Like Chad just came out he just did that out of nowhere. Nobody knew he was even gonna say that. I've never even asked you, Chad. Was that like, were you like preemptively like, oh, I can't wait to do like this little talk, I've got something in my head, or did that just like happen like on the spot?
No, that was on the spot. I was just having a little laugh because the fucking what was it? The LA SWAT team, ex-LA SWAT team, are trying to tell us that guns are fucking dangerous. Like, fucking duh! Like, you're trying to tell, oh no, you don't point this and shoot at someone. Yeah, it's fucking dangerous. Okay, well, you obviously don't know drones are dangerous, so I'm gonna fucking tell you that drones are dangerous. Yeah, no, I just made that shit up on the spot.
And I love Tommy like looking at Charpu every time he jumped when the gunshot went off.
Yeah, that was.
And then over the course of the day, you just see Tommy just like, oh,
because it was I don't know. It was just one of those things. Just like, dang, like this guy really gets affected by each of these gunshots, and it was just. I was even trying to tell him like, maybe if you rest your jaw a little bit. Like I heard this on the internet. If you rest your jaw like this, you won't, whenever you hear the gunshot, it won't like shock you. But yeah, it was just, it is what it is. It was a good time.
Carlos still jumps to this day every time a car backfires.
Steel was just like totally like you had no problem. You were like flying, and you were like, no one will hit me, and you just got out there, flew, and then I
was gonna say, unfortunately, we had to like make it easy. Like that was the scripted part. No one hit shit, and then they're like, "Well, just come a little closer," and then fly in like a line. I mean, we still flew fast, but it was like a little predictable. You could lead it off. It wasn't just like fly in an open field and get shot at, which is that's impossible unless you have a shotgun. No one is gonna take a drone out with a handgun, just like free form flying. I mean, maybe some of these new Cine pilots. God, I'm such a fucking hater. I can't handle it.
Steel, when did everything kind of finish? Because like that's something I never kind of got to ask. I wanted to ask it more as like a Rotor Riot thing, but like, yeah, when did it all go tits up? Because I think the last thing I saw you guys all together was like the Great Wall. Do you want to talk about that experience and that, where you went to China? And
dude, the train ride on that trip was the best.
What happened there?
I don't know. Chad and I were just freaking out that we were in first class train. Yeah, we had a whole
300 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, we had a whole first class cabin, a bunch of white people, and we were just like screaming because it was out of control. You'd fly literally like 300 kilometers an hour, rip by some city, and there's just no one there. No one would live there. Just they build cities in China for no reason. They're like, yeah, one day that someone will move in here. Kind of like Dubai, but they actually have a purpose. Like they actually will get filled up at some point.
The only thing I really remember from that train ride was fucking Kappa falling asleep and making sounds like the Predator.
Yeah.
So I made a whole video. I think I've still got it on my phone of like, it's the Predator, and and putting the music, the actual Predator music in the background, lots of stuff.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I have a video of that train ride, and I got so much criticism because they're like, Americans don't know how to travel. They're so obnoxious. I'm like, bro, first of all, Chad's not American, and second of all, it was just like a comedic thing. It wasn't even that we don't do that shit. I don't walk into a random mall and start screaming. We were in an enclosed environment doing 300 kilometers an hour across the country that we didn't know, and we were getting like first class treatment for no reason other than, I don't know what the fuck. Why? Chang just like gave us first class treatment for everything, right?
Yeah, sure. Like the people that were like that genuinely thought that I was onto like my second Ferrari kind of money. That was always the funniest stuff. Like they genuinely thought that I could buy 2 Ferraris with the amount of money that I got because of what they saw on YouTube. It's like, yeah, that guy's fucking rolling in it. Mm-hmm. Yep, no worries.
Who knows? Not like
Um,
that, is it?
YouTube money.
Yeah, the YouTube.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Tommy, the greatest contribution to the whole of FPV on my grip. How did you come up with that, and like, are you still selling it?
Yeah, that was actually even honestly like an accident. So I was working on my remix frame, which I didn't even intend to like sell to the public. I just wanted to make it for myself. And the problem with that design is that the battery is kind of in line with the props. And so if you were to crash and the battery would move like 1.5 inches in any direction, it would hit the props. So I had to come up with a way for it to not move, because using just a battery strap and like what was standard back then, which was like just like a little foam pad or whatever, wasn't cutting it. And so came up with the Yama grip, and people asked if could they just use it for other stuff, and that's how that whole thing came about.
That's good.
Nice, man. I'm just going through some random questions. We're almost at the halfway mark. So what I'm going to say is, guys, I've posted the link to the live chat. So it's in the Facebook group, and I sent it to you on Discord, Chad. But yeah, if any of the guys watching want to ask some questions, please, if you just at me, it's like at Bright Until I Fly, and then just put question, and we'll ask some questions. Curry, Blue Owl, Tony, have you got any questions?
I was going to say, yeah, happy to answer any questions. I mean, we can put like PayPal information up there. Like, was it $7 a question was what we'd agreed to? I mean, look, I'm happy to go down to 5 because I'm a nice guy. But yeah, ask away.
Yeah.
I personally would ask Tommy if he thinks he could do the Duggar dive again. It's something I rewatched again.
Yeah, I'll watch
and I saw it in its analog glory on this. Like, it just looked like you were diving into a maze of wire, and you just corrected all the way down and came out. Do you think you could just repeat that just like that?
Of course. Like we lowered that quad down on a string.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, especially with how far quad tech has gone, since then, like, I'd say it's probably easier to do now than it was back then. And like, honestly, like, I've seen other guys do some crazier stuff now, like within this last year with a way tighter gap. In fact, I think I saw Steel do something not too long ago within this last year. But yeah, I think it's definitely doable. It's funny though, I do have that quad literally like right like up in that corner over there. It probably still has all the radiation and all that other stuff, but that's gonna forever stay there with me.
Because they were talking about that was your butter quad, the better, your best flying quad.
That was the butter quad. I was the oddball guy flying 6-inch back then.
And you risked it.
Oh, I think it could not be done in the time constraint, the stress of the situation, and the gear by anybody else. Or repeatable in that scenario. I think it was like a Tommy was under pressure and it happened.
It was peer pressure, but what I enjoyed about it is it wasn't peer pressure from other people, because everybody looked at it and said can't be done, and Tommy's like, I can do it. I'm going to do it, and he's just like he pressured himself into it. Well,
if you go through the history of Rotor Ride, though, that's just Tommy. Like when most other people back out, Tommy's always the one going, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. That's always been Tommy.
That's what he did at Dam, the Dam flight where he.
That was the most scripted video. We were driving down the street, and in 4 seconds there was a full script written as we saw the dam, and we got out, and that's what happened.
I enjoyed that.
That was like the CD video where we pulled off on the side of the road and found a CD, and then shot the gap. There was actually a sign on the side of the road saying "Pull over here, CD on side of road."
Oh, I remember that. And we even used the tracks on that CD that we found to put as background music. Yeah. That was the time that we shot that gap that was like 50 million miles away. I remember that.
That was a Zion trip that I wasn't there for.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That's where we got introduced to the world of Drew. Let's not go there.
Shiny Video Stuff asks, Tommy, tell us about your frame.
What, the new one?
Oh, the 250 frame.
250.
That's the only one that I can imagine. It is what it is. I'm just like, I like to create. Create could be like make videos. It could be designing frames. And with this whole FAA stuff happening over here and this whole 250 gram rule, I just figured, all right, well, if this is going to happen, then I want to start kind of developing what this build looks like now, so that if and when this rule does get enforced later on, then hopefully what we've got as far as technology goes is just so good that I won't care.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's what we're all hoping.
Yeah.
My quads are all under 200 grams right now.
Right.
That's scripted.
I work with mining companies. We've got so much money to tell their regulators to get fucked.
Fraser Steen asks, there is suddenly a fire behind Tommy. He's only got time to grab one. Which one is it? Your quads at the back.
If I only had one to grab.
Yep.
Oh my god! I mean, what am I? That's hard. What am I doing? Like, what am I just going?
No, you're not using it. It's just a sentimental thing. Just grab a quad that can't be replaced. I think you're gonna grab your fucking Blackouts Hex.
Yeah, actually. Actually, if it wasn't missing one E, a C, that's it. That probably would be the one that I grabbed, just because it was the one that I had the most trouble putting together. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. It was the Spider Hex, so it was 6-inch. It was like a 280, like, I don't know, just a big motor, 2208. And we were getting away with KISS 18s. Like, I mean, seriously, like 18s. What were we thinking back then? But we thought it was okay, so we went with it anyway. So yeah, I probably picked Spider Hex.
What else have we got? Any opinion about those stupid prop LED lights?
I mean, cool. You want to fly at night?
Like Audio Geek asks.
I mean, if LEDs are your thing, I mean, that's cool. To me, it just sounds like extra, like, weight, unnecessary weight that just takes a hit on performance, in my opinion.
You can always tell a newbie they have the most LEDs on their quad. That's all I'm gonna say. New trend for 2004 motors, 2204 motors, and the ultralight frames.
What?
What about them?
I don't know. That was it. That was a question.
It's a really good one.
When are we getting a FP video from Steel on top of a mountain he just climbed?
Well, they might be misconstruing what I climb, because I don't climb mountains per se. I climb like little short 60-meter spaces of rock, and then when you're at the top, you're hanging off of a rope. So it's like not really conducive to like standing on top of and flying. And we don't really have any cool West Coast mountains out here. So it's just a sea of trees, which is terrifying, because if you go down, it's impossible to find. So probably not anytime soon, unless I go out west. And then, maybe I'm looking at maybe buying something in Vegas. So might have a second home over there where I can go flail on some rocks and melt in the summer.
Then you'll just be 4 hours away from me.
Yeah, but by that time you'll have moved over here, so you'll be okay.
They're slowly converging towards the center.
Yeah, but we're skipping over Austin, Texas, because that's basically California now.
Yeah, I swear, I feel like everybody's moving over to Texas or Arizona, one or the other.
Yeah. Scary.
A lot of people.
Is it the same in the US as the UK, where 250 can't record if it does need to reg it? Do you need to register quad now?
Is that a thing? Oh yeah, register. Yeah, if you have over 250 gram, and if you have a FAA license, a Part 107, you have to register regardless of what it weighs. So you could have a 1 gram fucking gnat's ass that flies around, and you'd have to register that shit and somehow get a pencil that you can write on grains of rice with and put your FAA number on that shit.
Oh my god. At least does your number change every year? Because it does for us. So
No.
we've got this nightmare of
Mine's like fatty or some shit. I don't know what mine is. It looks like it says fatty, but it's been the same for like 5 years. I just keep renewing it.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, we have to change ours.
Yeah.
No, mine's coming up for a renewal. I don't know what the new number is.
Tommy, did it always seem like you had to like prove yourself between like Steele and Chad, like them two bickering and like doing baller stuff? Did you ever feel like pressure?
No, not at all. I mean, like there's times where I did, but like these guys are just. I always just felt so comfortable just being myself that I never really felt like that. I mean, there was times where I felt like fuck, man, Steele did just some crazy shit. Or actually, what a good like reminder of that is the drunken episode. Like that was the one that I was just all like, okay, for sure. Like I used to DJ, so I used to drink a lot. Like I can hold my liquor, so I thought I was gonna come out on top on that one. And little did I know that Kevin Stinger Swarm, like airline pilots, apparently can really hold their liquor. And then the just big surprise of it all is the guy who is just the most drunk, who you would think is just like you've got science just all up against you, is the guy that just annihilates everybody. And it's like, fuck it, Steele's not a part. He can't join in any of these competitions anymore because it's just not fair.
Oh man, you threw up in the corner, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I was dead for like 2 days.
He threw up rainbows. That too was scripted, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
the rainbow.
I still have a video of Steele trying to converse with me while I was recording him, and he wasn't sure whether or not I was live streaming, and he literally went on like a 40-second rant and then tried to take my phone off me, not knowing that he had zero ability to balance himself. Yeah.
And that was the first time we had all seen drunk Steele, which is great, by the way. You guys should all experience that at one point in time if you ever have to.
We finally found out that he's a nice guy after all.
I think that's the last time I ever drank alcohol that was more than like a sip.
Were you telling Chad that you loved him and stuff and like wanted to get married and adopt Tommy? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's the night we eloped.
We drove to Vegas. Quick 4-hour drive.
Yeah. What do you guys miss the most from those days? Like, just
hanging out.
Yeah.
Just honestly, just hanging out. Like, I remember basically if we're out on like one of our trips, like I just have to remember to just keep boxers on and be like relatively like decently dressed because there's a good chance that Chad will just start jumping on my bed like at like 7 a.m. in the morning, be like, "Yo, let's go," because he's still on his Australian time, and like so it's just you just never know it takes that. Or I just remember even Dubai. Like, do you guys remember going to that karaoke spot? Like, this is the first time that I heard.
What's his name? Where he did the bangarang. Did bangarang karaoke, which has basically no audio. Who was it? He basically was jumping on everyone's table, going absolutely fucking nuts because he was completely drunk.
Ryan Houts.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan Houts. Yeah, did karaoke, and he did bangarang, which, as we know, doesn't have like any vocals in it. So it was basically just a drunk Western guy jumping up on tables, screaming into the microphone for 5 minutes straight.
I think I still have the video of all of us singing Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I think we post that at some point. Too. Yeah, good. Yeah. That's also when we discovered that Steele has like a voice of an angel, by the way. In case nobody knows. Just in case nobody.
There's been a lot of video you guys have got on each other. Is this like mutual blackmail? It's like if one releases, everybody else gets revenge videos back in.
I think I've got content for like a year just on like that kind of stuff.
Brilliant.
I did that to Tony at Western. In the evening, he went to bed early, so like I went into his room and started spooning him with the camera, and he didn't like it.
Yeah, you keep that. Don't release that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a nice little treat for you guys. Fraser asks, Tommy is always one of the nicest people in FPV. Did you ever lose it on Rotor Riot? And what made it happen? And how did everyone react? You ever lost your shit, Tommy?
Actually, it's probably better to ask Chatter Steel. I don't know. I mean,
Tommy's too nice and never loses his shit. Like literally, the only time I ever remember him even remotely losing his shit was we were having a meeting where we're having disagreements and shit like this, and like Tommy's normally like politically correct guy that sits in the corner, doesn't want to have fucking confrontation and doesn't want to upset people. So like we should all just hug guys and that sort of stuff. And like for once in his fucking life, Tommy's sort of like going, look, okay, like this is the problem that I have with you, and then sort of like you could see him almost stand back waiting for someone to try and punch him or something like that. He's like, oh no, I've been confrontational, and almost wanted to hug the fucker. I'm going, holy shit, you're being honest, Tommy. I love it. Keep it up. Keep going. Say something else bad about me that you don't like. This is great. Tommy never he never gets angry.
Still. Any
as far as Tommy losing his shit?
Yeah.
No. Tommy and I have always been really close since we went on the first Hawaii trip. And we like stayed in this upstairs of this fucking Airbnb thing, and he was getting annihilated by bugs all evening. We basically didn't sleep.
I counted like 64 mosquito bites on that trip, by the way.
I didn't have a single.
Actually, you know what, Steele? It actually goes before that. Like my earliest memory, the very first time we met was actually
when we were on the DRL shoot.
DRL, yeah, that was a couple weeks before Hawaii. Yeah. And I remember, like, I was just
that was the conception of Rotor Riot. That was literally the evening that Rotor Riot was conceived.
Steele and I were sitting there talking. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if there was a show kind of like Top Gear, because we're both in the cars and we were talking about Top Gear stories. And we were even calling it like, oh, we should call it like Top Prop. That would be kind of cooler, wouldn't it? And no, I remember that. I remember it was me, him, Daniel from X-Hover. And I thought it'd be cool to just invite everybody over to my room. And we got pizza. And they had like pepperoni and sausage. And that was when I learned that Steele was a vegetarian. And so he's like, yeah, I'm not eating that. And I was like, oh, well, I don't really have anything else for you to eat. So. But that was good times. That was I remember New York. I think it was called the Gates of Hell is what they called that.
No, that was after that. The one where we had the conversation about Rotor Riot was when we did the Boston Dynamics shoot at Harvard.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, because we went out to dinner with Nick Hololovich. Remember? Wait, was that? Did you go to that dinner? We went to dinner. Basically, this is the DRL dude, the guy that started DRL.
Yeah.
And we went to dinner with him and his chick, and like a few other people. This was in the very, very, very beginning. I think this was the Boston Dynamics thing. After we made them look really good that day, because basically everyone else's shit was terrible, and Tommy and I ripped around that fucking stadium like it was, I don't know, like a gladiator was coming through there or something. And then we went to dinner that evening, and I just remember this quote that pissed me off so much that I never wanted to deal with them again. And I don't have any issues with them now, but basically we were having a conversation, and I said, you need personalities on your show. And I'm not trying to say that I'm a personality, but I can tell you that the people that you had at the Gates of Hell situation were personalities, at least, Tommy and Moke, and like a few of the other guys that were there, like Daniel from X-Hover. And then he goes, yeah, but we can just get new ones. Like, we don't need those. And I was like, so are you saying that we're very replaceable? And he's like, yeah, like I don't need you guys. And I was just like, immediately, like, fuck DRL. I'm never doing anything with these guys again. And that's when I went, and that was the night Tommy and I had a conversation in the room. And then I called Chad Capper that evening and was like, hey, we need to do this fucking thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know I need, Sharpoo, Chad, and Tommy to be involved. and that was kind of the conception of Rotor Riot.
I remember. Yeah, we were in the. I think we were in the lobby when you got that phone call. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Dang.
I was like, "Yo, I'll be back in a minute," and then went down to the lobby and was chatting with Chad, and then I think you came down eventually, and we ended up doing like some kind of room service. I don't remember what it was, like pancakes or some shit.
Yeah. And then I think it was like, what, 2-3 weeks later, we all met up in Hawaii, and that was kind of like the impromptu, not really meant to be, but kind of like, well, let's see what all four of us in the same spot would turn out to be.
Yep, and we all had really good connections to the drone world too. Like all of us had sponsors, and were in bed with people that were, you know, like you were really good with Impulse RC. I was really good with TBS, Fat Shark, and I think all of that kind of culminated to the point where, and Chad was with Flyduino and HQ. Like there was just a lot of shit, and I don't know if Capper actually. I'm sure he did. He took that into consideration at least for a future business venture, but I don't want to. You know, if it were me, I would have been like, "Oh wow, these guys are really well connected and they're cool. I think I can make something work out of this."
Thank you, Clive.
You guys just lighting fires?
Well, when we get a donation off someone, we Jack sets fire to himself.
Is your room? You don't have a smoke detector in there?
No, we had to take it out and open his window.
That's crazy. You're doing that
I'm going to be looking on the news for like house burns down during podcast or something.
I think the record he's had is 5. I think we got a big donation.
7.
Was it 7? He lit 7 at once, which was
that was hell on earth. I couldn't breathe too well.
Couldn't breathe. Had a tan for a week. It was. I
know. It's how I stay warm. Right, so we've had a few questions. No, you don't have to donate to ask a question.
But you do have to donate to light yourself on fire. To get you to light yourself on fire.
Yeah, but you get fireworks, you donate. Caroline Taylor asks, will 3D quad flying ever take off? Or every take off?
No.
No.
But here's the thing, though. Does it have to? Like, if you're into it, you're into it, and like that's it. Like, just because the rest of the world isn't into it doesn't mean you can't get into it. That's just the way how I feel about it.
Like, again, drone flying is still a niche industry, so you could almost say the drone flying hasn't taken off either. So it depends on what you mean by taking off. But I mean, 3D flying within the hobby that we're in now, no, because it doesn't cater for what people want. Yeah. There's too many limitations on it, but it doesn't mean that it's not cool. Like I don't know if Zoe's still doing her 3D stuff. I'm completely out of touch with it all. But if she's still doing it, awesome. Doesn't mean that it's not cool. It's just that it's not going to be widespread because of its various limitations.
I kind of like that. People in the hobby like to do their own thing, and it's already niche, so you may as well have a sub niche inside the niche. If you're into it, then go for it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. Doesn't matter whether it's widespread or not. I've always had a habit of going and doing things that are not widespread and not hugely popular. I like them because they're different. It's just every once in a while you find something that's kind of gets popular right when you get into it, and that's sort of what happened with my drones. But who cares whether something's mainstream or not?
Thank you to Morning View and Caroline Taylor RC. Light these babies up. Hang on.
Should we ask in the meantime while Jack's setting fire to himself? Chad, now you're more stable at just a vocal connection. What are you up to? You're working for the mining industry with commercial drones and servos that cost lots of money, as far as I can figure.
Yeah, kind of. I do commercial drone work. I do contract work for a commercial drone company, and what I do is there's a multitude of things with regards to helping people out with their REOCs. So your REOC is like the business side of your commercial drone operation. I do a lot of REPL, so here in Australia, your commercial license is called an REPL. I do a lot of training to teach people to become commercial drone pilots, because here in Australia, to get your REPL is like a 5-day course, theory, practical, and that sort of stuff. And I do a lot of on-site training. Most of our customers are in the mining industry, the bigger mining companies and so forth, because Australia's got a big sort of mining export industry. And we sort of work with them to do various things, and all kinds of stuff. Where mining survey stuff, where you're using all different kinds of specific types of drones, big dollar drones, high hyperspectral cameras, where the camera alone is worth $250,000, sort of that sort of stuff. Right now, I'm working with some farmers that are using DJI Agris T16 drones, which are 42 kilo max takeoff weight agricultural spraying drones. And I get involved with some new products that are coming out. I get to play with stuff that's sort of not out on the market yet, like a lot of the new DJI stuff that you don't tend to see. And there's a T20 and a T30. I think the T20 is 50 or 60 kilogram takeoff weight, and they can do swarming with these damn things, where you can have up to 7 of these drones flying at once under one controller, and all kinds of weird stuff there. And so sort of it's very widely sort of spread what I deal with. But when it comes to sticking a camera on and taking pretty pictures of video, I haven't done that in fucking long time. I can't remember how to set up a GoPro or any kind of camera like that. It's kind of the way I like it.
Do you still go out and fly?
Everyone's still doing drones, but different. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah. I was just going to see if he still went out and ripped some packs on his own. You used to say you used to go out for a fly and not turn your camera on. Do you still enjoy going out and flying FPV on your own?
I think the last time I put on a set of goggles would have been probably 2019, something like that. I've still got my Mark and the rest of the group, still good friends with them, hang out with them. Haven't done it for a while. 2020 was kind of a shit year anyway. But every once in a while I'll go out and I'll hang out with them. I pretty much never fly. I just go and hang out with them socially because they're friends. But I literally have kind of zero interest in FPV these days. Haven't really touched it. Don't really care about it. Lost touch of what's going on. Occasionally I'll go and check out there, but I don't really care. So my only interaction with drones these days really is just through the commercial professional side. When I get home, don't touch them, don't care about them. I've still got a set of goggles and 1 or 2 frames on sort of stuff in one of my drawers somewhere, but no, don't really care.
Ever go to the museum?
Yeah, went to the museum. Apparently, I needed to sign something. They were just being annoying. Apparently, I needed to sign something so they could put my name on it. I never signed on it, so it's probably in the museum, but it doesn't have my name on it because they're not allowed to unless I give them permission or something like that. I just don't fucking care.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I sent it off. I don't know where the fuck it is. Don't really care. It's probably in the museum, maybe. But I've don't know.
Right. We are running out of time. I've got a load of questions to get through, so it's going to be a bit quick fire. So, Steel, ask Steel about having moonshine for the first time. Did you have
you talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it at Ceph super fucking long ago. I don't know who's in here. Maybe Colton or one of his buddies.
He's totally Colton.
Yeah, that was a good story. I was fucking walking around at night at this event called Southeastern Fun Fly. It's in South Georgia, and I stumbled into this tent, and there's a bunch of people frantically building something, and I was like, what the fuck's going on in here? And it looked like they were building a giant Dorito that was probably I don't know, 1 meter by 1 meter, and it was literally just a profile. It wasn't even a plane. It had no airfoil whatsoever. Anyways, they made this giant burrito, and all these people in there had this much ash on their cigarettes and a mason jar of moonshine. And yeah, I tried some moonshine that night. And then 10, 20 minutes later, Colton is a fucking phenomenal 3D pilot. And he made into this fucking Dorito in the middle of the night with a spotlight on it, and was just Harrier rolling that shit a few feet off the ground on the maiden flight with a profile plane that was just built in 30 minutes. It was ridiculous. And he was probably hammered. So it was funny to see.
This question's from Paul Donoho, I think. Question to Steele, but you other guys can answer it as well. What do you think the next evolution of the hobby is?
I don't know. Probably Senna. That's everybody's into fucking trying to make money at this shit now. I'm still holding down the have fun with freestyle. Like, I don't hold it down as being like the best, but I hold it down as like, that's what I like to do. And that's what I kind of, I like people to be able to go outside and fly and not have to worry about, oh, well, I got to build this drone so that I can make money because that's what everyone's telling me to do on the internet. So, Tommy does the same. He has all these little fucking cool projects with mini drones, and he's doing the commercial shit too. So technically, on paper, Tommy's fucking tripling down what I'm doing. I'm not doing shit.
I also just I missed someone. What is the best episode they never managed to film?
They all got filmed.
It all got filmed.
Yeah,
honestly, you had cameras going all the time. All these things you managed to capture.
All the good stuff happened just organically. We want to film this. That was never really where the good shit came from. It was just the fact that we had cameramen, like Kappa to his credit, knew to keep on rolling. Like, it wasn't when sort of like we're doing, hey, we're going to do the intro here, and hey, this is when we're going to do the flying. That's never where the good shit happened. I mean, perfect example, you look at a lot of the stuff that's on YouTube these days, that the same stuff is happening, but it just doesn't seem to have the same response from people. It's the interaction between the people, that the scripted stuff, as Steele was talking about, that was what made the difference. I think we filmed everything that we wanted to film.
There was some shit that happened where there weren't cameras rolling sometimes. I'm trying to think of an instance. Like, the second time we went to Hawaii, there was like, no one was even really hanging out, but there was a few things where people went off individually, and like Kevin lost a bunch of shit. Remember, were you there, Tommy, where like, I think it was the last day of, we were supposed to be in Hawaii. This was like 2016 during the Drone Nationals, or Drone Worlds. And I think Capper wanted everybody to go out and film something, and he was going to pay us like $200 for the day or something like that. And I was like, that's not fucking worth my time. I'm in fucking Hawaii. I'm going to go do my own shit. I don't need your $200. It's not even worth it. So I went and did my own shit. Kevin went out. I think, did you go out as well?
No, yeah, I think I got my drone stuck. Typical.
Yeah, like,
I'm always the guy that gets my drone stuck somewhere, and Steele is always the guy that climbs some crazy thing to retrieve it back. But yeah.
You got stuck in a palm tree. Kevin lost a quad in the ocean, and no one ever got paid. It was just fucking outrageous. Like, the story, the end of it was like, I'm so glad I went and did the fucking haiku Stairway to Heaven instead of going and flailing on the beach and not getting paid. It was out of control. I think
no one ever got paid. That sounds familiar again and again and again.
but the excuse was that the footage wasn't good enough for what they were trying to film for. And it's like, it doesn't matter. You worked. Like, fucking pay the people that work for the day. It's not, you don't go out to a film shoot and film all day and then they're like, yeah, we're not going to use any of this. So just, you don't get paid today. Sorry. That's not okay.
Sounds similar to when we were offered shares in the company and never got them.
Uh-huh. Man, the bitterness.
That would be bad. If I was paid on productivity, I wouldn't have made any money in the last 30 years. I don't think so. Just as well.
Tommy, there was someone like stalked me and found me on Discord, and they sent me a question, and I don't know whether to ask you on here, but can you check out your Facebook? I sent you a message. Can you take a look at it? If it's cool, then I'll ask it.
You got fucking 64 seconds. Hurry up!
I know.
Tommy doesn't like confrontation because, like, he's going to say no to the question, but he doesn't want to say no to you. So now you've got him at an impasse. He doesn't know. He's going to be confrontation, whether it's yes or no. It's a real problem. Now he's going to make up as though it's not actually the question. He's going to pretend like it's not the question. He's going to lie because Tommy's a dirty liar, and we're going to begin like asking a question now, like, how often do you do your laundry or some shit like that?
Are you boxers or brief kind of guy.
Sounds like
So
I've been outed here. Okay, so is it the last one that you sent me here with the screenshot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sonictronic 72 asks, can you ask Tommy who done the music and the voice over for his I Am Drone video?
And the answer is me. Yeah, I actually edited and did that, or half of it, on the plane to, was it North Carolina, South Carolina? And then I finished the other half of it in the RV that we were staying at the night before we were supposed to show off our little edits for that weekend.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. Last
Yeah.
question was for Chad. What do you think about the glider that done over 500 miles per hour? We were talking about this on Discord.
Yeah, the dynamic soaring video. That's nothing new to it. I started doing dynamic soaring myself in late 90s, probably like 98 and 99 or something, maybe very early 2000s. So it's something that I keep a really close eye on, which I kind of find it funny because this record was increased by 2 miles an hour or something like that, and just because of the internet, like the internet's finally found out about it and it's finally all blown up and everyone's talking about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, so this is a worthwhile thing. So yeah, I'm happy that people are actually thinking it's cool, but yeah, certainly nothing new to me. It's awesome stuff. So the fastest I've gone in dynamic soaring, I think, was it 160, 180 miles an hour, but that was back in the early 2000s. It would have been mid to late 2000s, actually. And that wasn't with a proper dynamic soaring glider.
Thank you, Sharpoo. Sharpoo's just donated. Sharpoo, click that link, come in, say hello for like 1 second. I just want to see your face. I want to see your smiley DreamWorks face. This is for you, buddy. I love you, Sharpoo.
To be fair, the reason we had that dynamic soaring video on last week is because none of us had flown. We're all locked down. We can't do anything, and we all went off hunting for videos to talk about. And I found that one. It's like, someone broke a record. Quick, let's talk about dynamic soaring. That's good enough.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Like the what they're doing there, and the engineering and the aerodynamics involved with it.
Guys, we got a reaction out of Sharpoo. I feel like that needs to be like celebrated. Like,
well, Jack's
Sharpoo's dead. Like he's not dead.
Sharpoo has morals, though. We have to talk about this.
Yeah. Sharpoo asked, "Do you still have any morals, guys?"
Any what?
Morals.
Morals.
Yeah,
we sold them to the devil when we joined Rotor Riot, along with you, Carlos.
Exactly.
Yeah. Come on, man! You've got an invite link. Just click on the link.
He said he's working. I think in the chat, I'm working. Sorry. Literally, show
is
your
this why
face.
Sharpoo won't come on? You guys are morally corrupt, and that's it. He's distanced himself from you now.
Please come on.
And it's all part of the script too.
Show your face so we could take a screenshot.
Yeah.
So we've got
like this other
Joke's on you guys. You guys don't actually know that Tommy is actually Sharpoo. He's wearing a face mask the entire time.
Exactly.
One day, my friend.
It's all clever editing.
There's a reason why Tommy and Sharpoo were never at the same time, at the same location together. Just don't go back in previous videos to prove me wrong. Just trust me.
No.
He
I was actually Sharpoo in Dubai, if you guys didn't know.
I was Sharpoo at 2015 Drone Nationals. Remember I stole his tag?
I remember that. Yeah, there's a recurring thing. And now it's Sharpoo in World Drone Prix 2016. So we all take turns being Sharpoo.
Yeah.
True.
Tommy, will you do a 1-to-1 with me at one point on like my separate interview things? Would you be up for that?
Sure, as long as you have a beer with me.
Yep. All right. No, I don't drink, but I can drink something. I can. All right.
I'll drink for you, Jack.
Drink.
Drink some whiskey.
I'll happily burn my house down, but I'm not going to drink.
No, I can drink. It just hurts a little. guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's like you guys will always be cemented in like the legends of FPV. We'll always remember you for Dubai, like Chernobyl, guns versus drones, and like you really are the foundation of like the things that the hobby is very proud of and everything you achieved. And it was an honor having you guys on the Let's Drone Out podcast when we were on the Thursday night show and we only had audio and you were at Rotor Riot, and it's still lovely speaking to you now. And like you've always been awesome guys, and we love you and thank you for everything you've done for the hobby.
It's astounding to me that people even know we exist, as far as like the Rotor Riot thing. Like there's so many new people that have no idea that we were on Rotor Riot. I don't know.
No, I feel the same. I'm always just all like, I just feel like we're old news. Like, I don't know.
I've never had anyone send me a link and say, "Have you seen Rotor Riot before?" So maybe people know, but like at the same time, I can't imagine people are going back. But maybe it's like suggested videos. You watch one, and then it's like, "Hey, this one actually got a lot of views."
Yeah. Maybe it's that, because let's face it, no one's watching Rotor Riot now saying, "Hey, watch this, it's great." That just doesn't happen. Sorry, guys.
I really like Drew. I feel sorry for the situation that he had to step into. But I mean, I think he benefited from it. I don't know about the company.
Good to see someone's being politically correct. I think Drew's a dick.
All right, we did the disclaimer.
Yes.
Allegedly.
He says the C word and it's a term of endearment. Don't worry about it. Right. So anyway, like one of our big sponsors is Menace FPV. And if you've watched this so far, and if you've watched the whole episode and you got to this little bit, I want you to type in this word. Guys, give me a random word. Tommy.
Cockwomble.
Huh? Type in cockwomble and you leave it in a message at the end of this video in the message in the replies message bit. Cockwomble, and be in for a chance, and we'll pick someone randomly, and you'll get a Menace digipack and Menace beanie and some other stuff. We got 2 packs to give away. So not in the chat, in the message underneath. Not in the chat.
Okay, guys, from now on, any kind of live feed that you guys watch, doesn't matter whether it's this one or another one, because I know you guys watch other ones, I just want you to constantly write cockwomble.
Okay.
That's going to be the new thing.
We're getting trendy.
Right, to win the other digipack, maybe write it in the... No, don't do that. I was going to say, like, write it in someone else's video, but yeah, thank you. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. We had the OG original cast in, so you've been joined by Final Glide Oz.
Evening or morning, or depending on where you are in the world.
Tommy, oh my god. You got to say, it's an audio podcast as well.
Oh, it's an audio podcast. What's
up? Edit has to, like, delete your silence.
The League of Silence.
Yeah. Mr. Steele.
Hello.
A very quiet Blue Owl.
Yeah, what the fuck? I wanted to ask you some questions.
Yeah, ask her.
Oh, go ahead.
Go.
All right. What is it like being one of 8 women that fly FPV?
It's great. It's great.
Is it though? Tell me about it, because I want to know. This is a male
Can we
super.
just do you want to still keep going, guys? Or do you want to end the live and then...
If you want to ask a question, you can ask a question.
All right, so...
Yeah, screw it. Let's keep it going for 3 hours.
I think I told the guys last week after we ended the stream that it's not like you have all the friends in the world to fly with, because you kind of...
Are you sure? Because I feel like all dudes that fly FPV assimilate, like they assemble on any girl that flies.
That's exactly the problem.
I want to help you put on one of your props.
Exactly.
That's exactly the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah. what you have to like. That's my main challenge. Actually, the guys are usually cool. The problem is that the wives and the girlfriends get pretty jealous for whatever reason whenever they need someone to blame. It's just kind of it's you're the one to blame. But
It's
anyway.
probably like
so
anything else.
Apart from that, there's no problem, like no difference at all. We have thumbs, we have eyes, so that's all you need to be able
but
to fly, right?
you fly silly tilt. That's what's wrong with you. She flies 60-degree tilt.
Jesus.
There's nothing wrong with her.
God, is
We
that
tried
still
doing
a
it on a
thing?
sim. 65 degrees is just mental. We couldn't get our heads around it at all, could we?
No.
Like it's like 3D quads, right? It's never wrong.
Nice.
Just one person who does it.
Yeah, crazy. I didn't 65 degrees, huh? With hopefully a 2.8 mil lens, so you just see down a tunnel at Mach 4.
Yeah,
So you like to go fast, what you're saying.
At 35, I feel like I'm going as fast as I ever need to go.
Well, at 60, you end up flying backwards. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Try
it.
Or flying forward is more difficult than flying backwards at 65
And
degrees,
landing, probably fairly difficult as well.
Landing is sketchy. Landing is either a line of sight or just sketch.
Just
I feel like I need to bring out my what I had back on my original designs, where I had a servo connected to the camera, so I could actually change the angle of the camera in flight. That was a whole different. That was a whole different ball game because you had to learn to fly at low angle and high angle. This was back in the days without the proper fisheye lens, like the GoPro lenses and stuff like that we use. We used to now. So if if you put more than say about 5 or 10 degrees worth of tilt in, you couldn't see the ground. So you had to, and that was my way of getting around that. But with a 65-degree camera angle, like on a servo with fish, I'm giving you're going to be the next star here, Blue Owl. Put it on a servo. When you finish throwing up because because you just can't handle the change. Trust me, the first time I tried it, my quad landed about 100 meters away from me because I just totally lost control when I changed camera angles. Once you get used to that, that's the new. I'm doing air quotes here. Evolution of drones. Put a servo on it, and then you'll have Tommy and Steele. Like they'll be sitting there. They'll be reviewing it in about a year's time. They'll be going, check this out. This is the new hotness. And Tommy's going to bring out one. He's going to call it the Oma Tilt.
It'll be like similar to that drone that had the tilting legs that everybody thought was going to take off.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, bro, it's got a belt, and it goes. Hah! I'm like, nah, that's never going anywhere. You ever crashed
I still
that
have
thing?
my 3D printed motor tilt somewhere in the box over here. 15 degrees, man. That's what it was, dude. Screw
I
y'all.
had 10 degrees. It's funny you say that about reviewing. Do you guys know Hobby King is still around?
Really?
I got a message this morning from Hobby King, and they're like, "We see you make drone video. Would you like to do a review?"
Wow.
I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? Where have you guys been?"
Go for it.
It's out of control. Hobby King, come on. We used to buy everything from them.
I got a message this morning.
Check your DMs on Facebook or check your DMs on.
I don't know if I can show it though.
Yeah, go for it, Tommy.
Can you read it?
Hold on, it's adjusting.
No, you're gonna have to read it.
Wait,
No.
There we go.
Amanda, sorry. Rooter. That's it. Just yes, I did.
But the thing is, this is literally this morning. Like, wait a second.
Some people are a little late to the game. They might have not left their house the whole Corona. Or the year before that.
I tell you what,
they locked themselves in a year beforehand.
Yeah.
Right. Let's end it here. Maybe we can do like a bonus hangout stream on Patreon or whatever. If you guys want to carry on, but and we can all catch up and chill there. So we thank you to all our Patreons. We were joined by Blue Owl, Curry Kitten,
Bye.
Hello. Bye.
My little Tony.
Bonjour.
And thank you guys for tuning in. And I've already outroed you guys. So Steel, Tommy.
Later,
Chad.
fellas.
No worries. Thank you
Cheers,
guys.
guys.
Don't forget, you can win some stuff from Menace RC. So don't put in the message.
Yep. Put in the code now, because I get a feeling like this is going to be the last time Minnesota FPV sponsors this podcast. So get it while you can.
Yep. Win some stuff.
Cockwomble.
Right. Yeah.
Cockwomble.
Not the chat, the messages. All right. Thanks, guys. Good night.